with my values of being responsible for nature. It is vital for me to ensure a green and great Mother Earth for all generations. I'm inspired to support the movement because I see the impact it has on individuals all around the world. With my 10 million tree planting project, adding more impact to it. Earth Hour is important because it allows us to work towards achieving better resources for nature. Tourism and agriculture are the backbones for Tanzania's economy, and they're also nature-based. So if you don't stop climate change now, these sectors will collapse. I believe in the power of unity and that the climate crisis is a matter of urgency.
And we are back for GW3 Live. It is Transformational Tuesday, and truly, I'm looking forward to us unlocking the power of gratitude today. I'm your host, Renee Knorr, and ladies and gentlemen, warriors, we're on a mission. We not only want to welcome you to Transformational Tuesday, we're ready to embark upon a journey that's going to inspire you, thanks to the thought-provoking book by the man himself, Mr. Shamari Wills, Black Fortunes. You know, joining me today, not only are there three remarkable co-hosts, Miss Shirley Baez, alongside with Miss Carrie Hudson, as well as Valerie Stone, these warriors in their own right, each with a story of resilience as well as growth. You guys are going to get an opportunity of not only celebrating them, but also sharing and hearing their stories. So guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Because we're ready for you. Let's make sure we're sharing out the room, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, or wherever you may be. This is the time for you to get so many people right into this place. But get ready to go live after this announcement.
I'm Renee Knorr, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar.
And you already know each and every day we soar up with that power, and so excited again to be here. Today is Transformational Tuesday. And you know, audience, it's time for us to bring up our incredible co-host. Our first co-host, we call her Bishop Carrie Hudson. Not only she's a phenomenal mother, she is a trailblazer when it comes down to her spirituality, as well as just taking ownership in being a phenomenal woman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Miss Carrie Hudson. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes.
How you doing, superstar?
I am doing so wonderful, Queen Renee. I just thank God for a push and a press. We know that, we make plans and then different things happen. But being able to show up, being able to share in this book with you beautiful ladies and learn more about our heritage, and then just have the opportunity to pour in and weigh on some of the things that we're learning. I am more than excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so grateful that you are here. And so we're going to bring up the rest of the co-hosts. Not only is Miss Shirley, I always have to say that, Miss Shirley, she's a swagger. She has so much class and pizzazz. She's truly that entrepreneur that's on the move. Miss Shirley, bring your beautiful self to the stage with us. Come on now. How are you doing?
Good morning. Yes, thank you, Queen Renee, for having me here this morning again and to pour into our beautiful community. on this wonderful book. I really do appreciate. Yes, I am on the move. Today I'm in Tallahassee meeting up with legislators to speak about veteran issues. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you for having me today.
You know, it's always great to have a veteran with the community. And I gather with our community, we have at least 3 strong women that's doing the doggone thing. So, guys, let's put some hearts up in the chat, not only for our veterans, put some hearts up in the chats for these phenomenal women, but also let's make sure we raise up the vibration, share out the information. Our last, but surely not least, our very own Miss Valerie Stone is in the building. Nothing but great energy coming from Valerie and great noise too. Come on now, Valerie. How you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. So blessed and excited to be here this morning. Oh, my book came this weekend. I am so excited to be able to read as well as listen in the room and discuss. Amen.
Let's go. Let's go. Everybody put some green hearts today. I feel a little green going on, you know. You guys look amazing first and foremost. Just want to say that as well to you. You know, before we get into this transformational Tuesday, before we get into that deep dive into this book right here, Black Fortunes by Mr. Shamari Wills, we're going to take the time to introduce yourselves. You know, one of the things I want to say also, though, you know, I want to say congratulations, warriors, you know, because you are right now in your own right. Each of you have a story of resilience and strength. And that's why we're so proud that you have been able to show up in the way that you do, but also keep pressing forward. So ladies, I just want to say that to you all before you introduce yourself. Let everybody know where you're from, and then just let them know the name of your business and what it is that you do. And you know what? We're going to pass the microphone around, and we'll start with you first, Miss Bishop Carrie. Take it away, Bishop.
Amen. Amen. It is again an honor and a privilege to be here. My name is Carrie Inez Person Hudson. I am born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. I am a mother of 3 beautiful sons, 20, 15, and 5 years old. My 5-year-old is actually home with me today because his school bus did not come and I did not have enough window to Zoom him to school. So I'm just grateful for, like I say, the ability to adjust and keep it moving with joy. I am a poet. I am a singer and I am a speaker. For the majority of my adult life, when I was a youth, I worked primarily with young people and children. That is my area of expertise. Sometimes, you know, as adults, we get so jaded. It's harder to reach adults than it is to reach for a child who has not yet been negatively imprinted in their mind. I would like to say that my number one gift from the Creator is the gift of encouragement. And I have found over the years so many ways to use that. A few days ago, I was just thinking about my life and my journey, and even how when I was in high school and even when I was in college, how just mentoring has helped me to make an impact on young people that I didn't even know that I was making. So now that I have matured and I understand my role more now in reaching the lives of young people and making sure that my children are raised in a way where they realize, you know, each one teach one, that we always should reach back for one, that we always should give back. That is really my mission. I am on a mission to encourage primarily children and young people to recognize themselves, to not spend time comparing. And my overall goal with my children and other children is to get them over certain hurdles that we as adults in our life, you know, me closer to 50 than 40, certain things that I may have tripped over because I did not know, certain things, certain areas where I may not have put my foot on the gas because I didn't have anyone necessarily pushing me. I want to be that for my children and anyone else, anybody else's child that I can be that for along the way. I do have a small business called Expressions of a Gift. And then in our own right, I am not actively making t-shirts and paraphernalia, but my overall umbrella and everything that I do is encouragement. So I have a line of t-shirts, I have bookmarks, and I am actively working on being published this year with my
Awesome.
first book of poetry and spiritual reminders. So yes, I'm all about the encouragement, and
Yes.
I've been able to exercise that in a lot of ways over the years, but that's my vein and I'm sticking with it. Yes,
We
ma'am.
love it, love it, love it, guys. Put some hearts up in the chat for Miss Carrie. Thank you so very much, Miss Carrie. We'll go to you, Miss Valerie.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Again, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. I am Queen Valerie L. Stone, also known as Lady Stone 3. I bring to you, and to you too, information, education, and a personalized, customized toolkit for success. The Lady Stone 3 triad speaks to God's gifts, talents, and skills that He has bestowed upon me so graciously, helping all humans get to optimum wellness, inner fitness, and financial freedom for life. You know, God working through me creates miracles, using me as a vessel, changing lives right now in the moment, real time, and it's everlasting. You see, you can literally tap in anytime and at all times. This I know for certain. Back to you.
I love it. Come on, put some hearts up in the chat for Valerie as well. Good energy, good energy. Love the vibration here. Mrs. Shirley, or Miss Shirley.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Shirley Baez. I am a 20-year Army retired vet. I am a speaker, an author, and a coach, and of course, a multifamily investor. I love coaching women in the realm of leadership. I also do that and pay it forward back to the military community as a leadership instructor. And so I'm just very happy to be here, encourage other people to tap into their greatness and just keep scaling and reaching up for the stars. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
I absolutely love it. Go ahead on and thank you all again. And thank you for your warm introductions as well. And please, guys, let's put some hearts up in the chat today. You know, I'm grateful that not only the audience, they're applauding you right now, but you know what, guys? I feel as if this is a stage that we have provided faces to fill not only others with determination, but also with hope. And today we're going to delve into not only the deep of gratitude, the depths of gratitude. But I'll say this, guys, you know, we have to realize that a force so powerful, it has the ability to transform lives, minds, and even societies. And when you think about this book, we're reflecting upon not only just our legacy of slavery, and then the fight for acceptance, and we know equality. I think some of us still fighting for that right now, right? Bishop Carrie, you know, we have to realize it left so many scars that run really deep in our not only collectiveness, but even in our consciousness. Even as we're reading this book right now, you know, certain chapters have just been not only provoking us, it has really turned our stomach, you know, it really has. And so I say this, guys, not only do we have to display that powerful image of not just depicting how moments from the history reminds us how we have to really not only they face those struggles, but how we have to get past that generation so therefore we can truly take on where we're going. And so I'll say this, guys, you know, in this journey, I want to talk to you about this because when we think about the powerful force of all, it's all through gratitude. You know, that's what our Tuesdays are all about. Gratitude is just not about saying thank you for good in life or things that's in life, but it's also about finding that appreciation even in the face of adversaries, you know, adversities. I'm getting the word messed up right now. Adversity.
Yes.
Adversity. There we go. It's more importantly also, it's about just recognizing the strength within ourselves. Somebody have to put that hashtag strength within ourselves. Because when we have the strength within ourselves, we can also help others to find strength along the journey as well. And one of the things I want to say, Mr. Shamori Wills, this incredible author, not only is he sharing these untold stories, because that's really what they have been, right? Untold stories of African Americans, entrepreneurs who not only rose from the ashes of slavery to achieve remarkable success, but guys, I like to say this also, they've been with these particular stories that just have been so captivating. When you all have been hearing these stories, Carrie, share with me, how did it make you feel the first story that you heard from one of the first millionaires? What did it do for you? And then share with us what have been one of those stories that was like, oh my goodness. It was like a aha moment, an awakening moment for you.
Yes, this book, and I'm a person who my parents raised us with a degree of knowledge about our history. We definitely were not blind to, our dynamic royalty from our original inception in the motherland, as well as the travel and the journey of many of our foremothers and fathers. And so I have appreciated more than anything learning about those who I had not known about. We all know that whether it's the month of Black history or just the history that they allow us to see in the books, that there's a lot left out. Society and history at large has picked who they want us to know about and who they want us to focus on. And then there's a much larger group of our foremothers and fathers that we do not hear their stories of triumph. And so a lot of times in our communities, we're made to feel, especially as children, that out of a mass of, say, millions of people, Black and brown people of color, maybe only one or two of us have the ability to raise up and do something, because that's how marginally they have shared our history. So I'm just grateful, even knowing some about my history and sharing a lot with my children, to learn something new about those who went before me that accomplished something so amazing. As we talked about even last week, when you dive into this book, it really causes you to take inventory of any excuses may have had along your journey that were keeping you from manifesting. I particularly like the story of John Drew Moss. The reason I cling to his story is similar to a lot of the other stories. He gained his wealth out of making a solution for those of us who didn't have an out. Back then, of course, you knew whatever mode of transportation that anybody else was traveling on, as people of color, we were always marginalized. We had to either, if you go to the Montgomery bus boycott, which was way after this, you got to sit in a certain section. Or when we look at the time in which he created his own busing company, we had to, as people of color, stand in a really tight space. We could not sit down. So part of what he created was a way for some of our foremothers to get to work more easily by providing a comfortable transportation system for those of us that either prior to had to walk or be in uncomfortable situations. And one of the other things that I truly love about his story, again, the fact that he found his wealth by creating a solution for those who were underprivileged, but the idea of sometimes we don't understand that when we have a business, we should create it to make it where it's sellable. And so in his story, he turned his businesses over multiple times, to create additional wealth. And so I think sometimes we think in the mindset of having businesses and we want to hold on to our business, but depending on what type of business we're in, to nurture it in a way where someone else, when we're ready to pass it off, will buy it from us, give us that additional wealth, and then create additional opportunities for us. His first business is not what made him a millionaire. It was selling his business and then that business being sold and the revenue and the produce from those businesses that he then put into the sports teams. So I'm very impressed by his business savvy. And the way that he worked it out to leave a legacy for his children and for us to be able to read about him today. John Drew Moss.
Well, thank you so very much. Everybody put some hearts up in the chat. That's powerful what you share, because a lot of people think it's important to hold on to something, which we don't even understand the importance of, once you build it up, how to be able to transfer it. So therefore it can continue on building, but you know what? You can make capital in that transition stage. One of the books that we have read It's by Sharon Letcher. And I think that's going to be another one of those books, How to Exit Rich, that we need to recircle back around to. Because if you realize in business, the importance is, like what you just said, not to hold on to it, but how to transfer it so therefore you can continue on creating wealth. So I love that story. Thank you so much, Miss Carrie. Miss Shirley, share with us one of those stories that you've been able to reflect upon as well.
Yes. So overall, really loved the book. I've definitely been digging into some of the characters or the personnel in these books. I really like the fact that the author wanted to highlight these individuals because before that, I didn't even know about some of the stories that these individuals, the lives that they lived. And so it's great that he highlighted people in this era that took it upon themselves to make a change in their community and society and to go against all odds to build wealth, right? And this was a time where there were just so many roadblocks and so many challenges to even risk your life, to go above and beyond, to build an empire, and then be able to share it with your community is something very astonishing. And so one of the individuals that I kind of gravitated to was Annie Turnbow, and what I really loved about her is that she risked it all. She risked it all. She went against all odds. She saw a need in the market at that time. Hair for us, dark-skinned individuals, our hair is our personality. Our hair says a lot about us. It's a very delicate subject for a lot of us. I know for me, as a young lady, as a young kid, I always struggled with my hair. And so my mom, her texture is a little softer, of course, and then my dad's texture, it's more curly, and so my mom never knew how to treat my hair, and so for me on my journey with my hair, it's been like a roller coaster of a ride, and so I had to learn how to really accept my hair, how to treat my hair, how to love my hair, right? And so that's why I gravitated towards Annie. At that time, she saw many women who, was having issues with their scalp and, hair follicles and all of that. And so, and also wanting to imitate, the white people. They thought that that was the beauty, the accepted beauty at the time, and that's something that also shocks me how social conditioning conditions us to think that this is correct versus this, right? And who's to say what beauty is like, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But she also, not only did she want to help women accept themselves, accept their hair, accept their Black beauty, you know, but she wanted them to know that where they came from, they should be proud of that, right? And so she saw a very much need in the market, and she started experimenting. She also loved chemistry. I believe, I don't think she finished school, but with a lot of great entrepreneurs and a lot of people, millionaires, a lot of them don't even finish school. They just had a great idea and they saw a need in the market and they went after it. And so with her love of chemistry, she started creating a hair care product line, right? And at the time, I read that she could not utilize regular distribution channels, right? Because of all the blockages. And so, she went grassroots. She knocked on doors, she provided, and that's great because that also builds trust. That's another thing that I saw that, right? You knock on doors, go grassroots, talk to people, develop relationships, experiment, hey, this is going to help your scalp. This is because a lot of people were losing their hair too, and they had bald patches. And a lot of us do experience that. I know for me, being in the military, wearing a helmet all the time, that also damaged a lot of my hair, and a lot of other women of color in the military that damaged their hair. So her gaining the trust of people, putting these products in people's hair, and then having them see the changes and their hair growth. I mean, that's what really propelled her forward, right? And now she's having a whole bunch of people in the community following her, trusting her, wanting her products. And that's how she built her empire. And I really love that, because the money that she made from that, even though she became a multi-millionaire, she gave it back. She gave it back to causes, to Black causes, to civil rights causes. I think her fortune was in a little bit of a trouble, I believe, when her husband filed for divorce. But nonetheless, she still went above and went over those obstacles. And I believe that she then created a cosmetology school for that. And so that's what really intrigued me about her life. It's like she was a true pioneer, a true entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are visioners. They see from just the wave tops, they see above and beyond. And she saw a need. And not only did she address the need, but then she also helped a society, a whole society, because now, we use her products. We use a lot of those people, a lot of those individuals' product that would help our hair and help us feel just confident and great. And so that's the story that really I resonated with.
Truly appreciate that, guys. Put some green hearts up in the chat for not only the share from Shirley, but just the whole component of her having people to tell her what she probably couldn't do. Especially as a woman, being a chemist back then, that was like unheard of, guys. Think about it. Even when we were watching one of the movies, sometimes the African Americans, they couldn't even go to the library to read up about certain subjects or certain matters. So now you literally had to be on your own in that kitchen, brewing up things, trying to figure out if this is going to work, how would this affect this, that, and the other. And so that took a lot of courage. A lot of courage
Oh,
she
yes.
had. And, even still till today, we still are suffering from our hair. Like you said, even just looking at all four of us right here, we all have different styles of hair. And we know that's something that's a part of our accessory as well, right? So it was so important for us to be able to celebrate us and to look like us
Yeah.
without having to uh, compare ourselves. That's what she empowered the women. Don't compare yourself to them. Love the skin that you are in,
Yes.
and let's enhance what you have to work with. And that's something that we have to think about, ladies and gents. Make sure you love the skin that you're in, and find a way that if you're enhancing your beauty, wonderful, but don't totally try to transform yourself where it's not something that's realistic. So thank you again, Shirley. Miss Valerie, please pour in. What's one of your favorite stories?
Oh, this last one, the one that we heard today. Um, most of my life, I have been, I specialize in the human body. I was a master cosmetologist back in the early 80s. For a few years, I found that was not um, what I wanted to do. However, when I was doing hair in Atlanta, I absolutely loved it. I specialized in the scalp and hair, in the overall health of your body. Your skin is your largest organ. So as a master cosmetologist, as a massage therapist, as a home health aide and hospice care worker for 30 years, I specialize in the human body. And the story about Annie is most prevalent. She was a pioneer, a trailblazer, and she knew her non-negotiables. And she was going to do what her calling was, no matter what. I can definitely identify one of the salons that I worked in Atlanta. It was in Buckhead. It was upper class, mostly older white ladies went to this salon. And I was working, and you know, these ladies would come frequently. I would see them. We began to establish a rapport, and one day they were talking about Black people in a negative way of sorts. And so I, excuse me, I walked around to the front, and long story short, the one of the clients said, "Why would you admit or acknowledge your Blackness?" I was like, excuse me. I was totally in shock. And that was, like I said, that was in the early 80s. And that was my real stark um, realization of how I am perceived. Because depending on how I have my hair, depending on what season it is, if it's summertime and I have my nice golden tan and my hair is a certain way, I've been called all different kinds of things, different nationalities. So it's quite interesting to to um, understand what people say about and feel about our hair, number one, and then just overall, you know, we plow through. I was adopted. My parents were older than me. My father was born in 1915 and my mother in 1923. And I have heard the stories from when they were coming along. My mother and my grandmother, my adopted mother and grandmother, were my complexion. Back then, when children were placed for adoption, they tried to match you up with your same complexion, as well as if you had one drop of Black blood in you, you were considered Black. So I was adopted by a Black family, and I have now realized and discovered and met my birth family on both sides. My mother is Caucasian. My father is Black. I know my DNA. I know what parts of Africa I'm from. I know what parts of Europe I'm from. So this is really, really interesting to me. And I am definitely happy that I'm here today to speak about this and to hear what the rest of you have to say. You know, when I was speaking to one of my girlfriends who is a beautiful, beautiful, dark, dark, dark skin. And she and I experienced the same things because we're at both ends of the spectrum. And she used to get teased about her complexion, but I would at the other end as well. And my mother, God bless her soul, she, because of her negativity and her trauma, she always told me about pretty is as pretty does. And I was always told by everybody else how beautiful I am. And she was like, no, don't that. And I believe that was because of how she had to grow up, and then the ancestors and generational. That's why I say this stops with me. We are all human. We are all the same. We are more alike than we are different. So here we go.
I absolutely love that. We are more alike than what we are different. Let's put some hearts up in the chat, definitely for Miss Valerie Stone for pouring in. I gather, you know, because we love the beauty industry, the fashion industry, Miss Annie Turnbull Malone definitely is the name that you all want to follow up. You know, the college that she was able to found was the Puro College, and it's a cosmetology college. Thank you again, Miss Shirley. She trained thousands of African-American women in beauty and in that hair care technique area. And so proud of just her not only being an ambassador for the beauty industry, but also ambassador of change, because that helped her to not only to just embody, to provide a powerful space for women to feel fabulous about themselves, but for them to feel proud about themselves as well, you know. And I think that's just something that really resonates with all of us. You know, the other name that we'll definitely get an opportunity of learning more about is Madam C.J. Walker. I know yesterday you guys heard me pour in about Madam C.J. Walker. They almost was like in competition, ladies. I would just say that they had a little round going on back then also, okay? Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. But Madam C.J. Walker, not only she's known for, increasing the numbers of women all across the land. She was in poverty also in Louisiana, but the great part about it, she showed how she was the very first woman, the first self-made millionaire in the United States. And she did that with the accomplishment of not only showing others how to go. I love the door to door, because guys, back in the day, I used to be at those doors, door to door. I was with my mom with those magazines or with the Watchtower and the Awake. But that's how you build confidence. Those were the ways that you can truly connect with people, like what you said also, Shirley. And that helped you to stay consistent. I think I hear some, hold on. Let me just do this. I'm going to mute you, Miss Valerie. It helps you to stay consistent in the space of how you build out your network. And so with Madam C.J. Walker, she also was the first African-American to even do the direct sales, because she understood, as long as I can do it for myself, if I just multiply what it is that I did by 12, and then she did it by 24, then she did it by 36. And then next thing you know, guys, she had a massive group of women selling hair products all across the nation. She showed women how to be trailblazers and to be able to fight for economic empowerment and social justice. So guys, let me just give you some of the other names that we have. And I really want you guys to embrace this book. If you haven't already ordered it, please get your Black Fortune book in the mail today. Okay. Mary Ellen Pleasant, that was one of the other incredible pioneers. And we know for sure we still have some of the other names that we're still learning more about. She was like the mother of civil rights in California. Mr. Robert Reed Church, oh my goodness. Not only was he born in slavery, he was so fair-skinned, he could have passed for a white man. But of course, he had that resiliency within him right there in Memphis, Tennessee. And he was one of those African Americans that not only owned banks in the United States, but also church. He used his influences and resources to support the African American community and to be that advocate for change. My goodness, the story that we are reading right now, that Hannah Ali, let me just say this, guys, this one here, she's probably going to shock you all, because not only did she come into this space at the age of 19, guys, 19, her story alone, born right there in Maryland, the unfortunate part about it, once she gained her freedom, it was like she never, ever got out of a prison. Sometimes we know we get imprisoned in our minds first, right? And then from there, you go from that imprisoned, from literally the system imprisonment, and then even not being able to connect with our own family. So guys, these stories that we're talking about here with this incredible book, get your copy today. If not, feel free to join us also on this book club journey, because this is just the beginning. Oh my goodness, we're probably in chapter, as it stands right now, we haven't even hit halfway through the book. So it's not too late for you to be able to join us. And so ladies, thank you so much for just highlighting some of those stories that was captivating to you. I think about this also, and I want you guys to put yourself in this place, because it's about that gratitude. And gratitude has been described as transformative force. It's a transformative force that has not only the power to shape our perceptions and experiences, but how do you integrate gratitude into your daily life? I want to ask you all that question, especially in moments of struggle or even uncertainty. What tangible benefits have you been able to observe just from practicing gratitude consistently? And so, Shirley, we'll start with you with that question.
Yes, no, definitely. Gratitude plays an important part in my daily routine in my life. Once I tapped into the power of gratitude, waking up every day, being grateful that I'm able to breathe, that I'm able to be alive, that I'm able to do the things that I do, and not be in a situation where I feel victimized or I feel lack thereof, has been a very transformational force in my life. And excuse me the noise in the background, because I'm traveling, but For me, what I've noticed gratitude has done in my life is it has given me an internal peace, an internal, my health had improved because before, when I didn't really practice gratitude in my life, I was always very anxious and worrying about situations that I had no control over. And so once I I rendered right into gratitude. I see things very differently. I take a pause, reflect, and then analyze, and then act. And so I've noticed that health-wise, it has made me more health-wise, it has improved overall, definitely. But definitely looking at things from a different perspective and be at peace with the decisions that I make in my life every day, and just be grateful that a lot of things that I'm exposed to, for example, what I'm doing today in help of veteran causes. I'm so grateful that I'm able to meet with senators actually after this and be able to be in that same room to make change, to actually be an influence of change. And so I'm so grateful for that, aside from everything. And so I always apply that every day, every day.
Absolutely love that response. Well said, Shirley. And we see you in your actions. We see that, and you have that calming tone over yourself as well, that calming tone voice. And we're grateful that you've been able to connect with that. Miss Valerie, and then we'll go to you, Carrie.
For me, just like you, Shirley, expressing gratitude as soon as I open my eyes. And during the night, if I wake up, I am always in gratitude and thanking God all day long for everything, little things and big things. But the most is definitely when I first get up in the morning, just so grateful, because of being grateful consistently all the time, specifically in the morning and before I close my eyes to sleep. I have experienced consistent peace, and my chronic health conditions are clearing up and going away. With the gratitude comes prayer, of course. God has fixed my heart and made it safe for me to be in my body. And baby, let me tell you, being present in my body and being safe in my body simultaneously is truly a gift from God, because with my faith and trust and consistency, and also being receptive to God, I can now flow in my gifts and talents and blessings in a healthy way, in a positive way, with so much joy. And that's what I get mostly from my gratitude. It is my everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can tell that it is. You can hear it over there as you're giving us that good vibration, those frequencies. I can feel it over there. All you need now is that bell to go ding. You know what I'm talking about?
I love it.
Yeah, you got to get you one of those, okay?
Yes.
Miss Carrie Bishop, let's go.
Yes. No, her design to be message. That was a message right there. And it is like, I have to echo what these other beautiful ladies have mentioned about peace, right? The opposite of being grateful is being worrisome. And, there's like a spectrum of it, right? But there's not a lot of gray area, because the thing about a lack of gratitude is you can plant it as one little small seed, but the enemy of our souls loves to grow that seed. So sometimes we think, oh, we can complain about this or can complain about that, as long as our overall attitude is gratitude. But when we get to complaining, it starts out like a drop in a bucket, but then it turns into a tsunami. Because that's just the nature even of our minds. And so certain things we really have to try to avoid entertaining. And in my perspective, it's just best to avoid entertaining complaining. When we have an attitude of gratitude, it doesn't necessarily change our situation. It doesn't even change how difficult something might be. All of these people that we read about in this book had so many difficulties. Even in the story of Annie Turnbein, they used the word that she refused to be undeterred, which means that no matter what obstacle, no matter how much access she may not have had to certain things, no matter how many times she had to try her experiment and to work, she was undeterred. And that commitment and that fortitude, I believe, comes from having an attitude of gratitude. When we teeter-totter too much with complaining, it becomes easier, family, for us to quit a thing. And we all know when we're on our mission and the thing that God has called us to do, us quitting a thing prematurely ultimately keeps other people that are supposed to benefit from what we're doing from being able to make that benefit. So gratitude, as Queen said last week, is contagious, and it frames our perspective. It fortifies us and allows us to continue to go on until we can reach our goal. So my thing always and forever, I'm so grateful to be grateful. Minus gratitude in many of our lives, we would have been done gave up, been done thrown in the towel, been done got caught by depression, been done got wiped out of our mission and our call. So gratitude preserves us, and it gives us a measure of joy while we go through things, whether they're easy or difficult. Gratitude, that's my jam. So yes, thank you.
Oh my goodness, guys. You already know not only is contagious, it's so needed, like you said, just in waking up every day. Once I really started shifting, ladies, in just having that gratitude for everything, whether it was good, whether it was not so good, or just whether it was just indifferent, it not only helped to shift my trajectory, it literally gave me a better outlook. And I just really started looking for how can I pull out the positives in what it is that we're looking at every day. Gratitude is something that is so needed. And I even challenge each of us to embrace the power of gratitude in our very own lives every day. It's like we got to take a moment each day to reflect on not only just the blessings that surround us, but also letting that gratitude to be the guiding light through our life's journey. And I'll say this too, as we are embracing gratitude, we want to ensure that our young leaders are also embracing this gratitude as well. Because what we have to realize in the space, guys, we got the power. We have the power to really overcome how things are going to, as they say, how they either you're going to get played or how things play out. How about that? So when you think about power, I'm going to use this acronym. Not only we got to stand for the perseverance, that unwavering determination to overcome obstacles, no matter what the odds are. Automatically, we have to understand we are the warriors. And with warriors, we already know we have what? We're going to have obstacles. We're going to have a little bit of a struggle. We're also going to have something that's not going to go as smooth as we like for it to go. So now we have to precondition our mind to be able to be on that other side. And with that and power, we have to realize the opportunities that stand in front of us, recognizing that even in the darkest of times, there's always opportunities for growth and change. Mr. John C. Maxwell have truly been able to help us to understand and appreciate that just by reading those 15 invaluable laws of power. And while we even reading this book here with the Black Fortunes, it's been able to give us that opportunity. Now we're not the same people, Shirley. We are not the same people from reading these chapters, from just reading these stories from these pioneers. We're allowing ourselves to grow. And so with that growth now, that put us in position so therefore we can change the outcome of how we may even feel about something else. And I love the W in power because it stands for wisdom. The lessons that we learn through our hardship that shape our understanding of the world, that's what it is. I am not the same woman I was yesterday, nor are you guys the same as you were yesterday. So not only have we been able to embrace the wisdom, but also now with more of this, give us a guidance of just really appreciating the world that we're in. And of course, that E, it stands for empowerment, the belief in not only oneself, but having that faith as well and helping others to create a better future. That's what I love about, when we are able to not only reclaim our power, but stand tall in our power. I love to say standing tall in our power, but also standing with resilience. That's what that R stands for in power, that resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger after facing adversaries. And we already know one of the guys who've been able to bounce back over and over and over and over and
You on mute, Queen?
We can't hear you, Queen. Probably went out and came. It's going to come back.
Yeah. Yes,
That's what I had to do. Oh, this is fire, y'all. This is
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, definitely, these chapters are amazing, and it's such a lesson learned for me every day. Just seeing how these people just kind of overcame a lot of adversity in their time, and so it makes me appreciate more how I approach issues in my life now or situations. So it was great. It's been great.
Queen Renee is back.
I'm back. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now.
I was cutting up. So what did you not hear? Will you hear me when I was talking about the power, the acronym of power?
We did. We heard the whole acronym of power, but after that, nothing else.
Okay, well, I'm happy that we are back, warriors. All I was saying is just continue to not only remember, warriors, that in the world that we're often faced with darkness, it is gratitude that illuminates the path forward. That gratitude, guys. And as we're preparing for not only our events that's coming up, we had an opportunity of speaking to Richard right there from Uganda this morning, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm going to post up a couple pictures. We were trying to see if we can get him on with us today. Richard is over in Uganda. He's doing such a wonderful job with 160 orphans. And when we think about how we are shining, he's not only been a beacon of hope to our young leaders, but we are also that beacon of hope to others, right? And so with our fourth of, how we go forward, we got to place not only ourselves with open hearts, but also open minds, and being able to embrace not only our power, the power of gratitude, but also helping others to be able to transform within their power of gratitude. So Richard was truly, with all of these beautiful babies all around, I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, oh, Hercules. So proud of him. And we are looking for, I'm crazy. We're looking forward to also spending quality time with those guys in Uganda, God's willing, because that's one of the things, as we keep on stepping up our game, Miss Carrie, alongside with Shirley, we have to keep on expanding ourselves, because this is definitely the season for abundance. It's a season for us to be able to see that unknown, to embrace some of those places that we're not even like, wait, are we really here? That's how we're going to be walking into place. It's like, yes, we are. And as Lil John would say, turn it down for what? Because we're definitely going to be tearing it up this season. Come on now. Turn it down for what? Now make me have to start dancing up in here. Well, guys, this has truly been a powerful, powerful day for us. I just want everybody to know we will be together for our March event that's coming up. That's right, the March event that's going to be coming up. And we're going to show everybody where we're going to be. That's going to be one of our powerful events that's excited to be here, guys. We're looking forward to having you all to join us for I Am Impact. That's going to take place on March 24th in Atlanta. Guys, it's been another powerful day. It's been another powerful day. You guys have been able to blaze your green. And I'd like for you guys to just give us some closing words before we close out and return back into the clubhouse. Miss Carrie, closing words for the power of gratitude. Please pour in.
I would just say that the last story that we read for Sister Annie, the whole thing about self-love. Queen Renee said something earlier about us being fabulous, but if we don't truly love ourselves, we can front like fabulous. We all are master maskers. Like, we know how to put ourselves together and cover ourselves up, but cover up some of the things that we might be dealing with, insecurities, the importance of getting deep down inside of ourselves and loving ourselves just where we are. And as was stated, just embracing and enhancing that. I cannot say that enough. God was very intentional when he made each and every one of us. Even if you shared your mother's womb with another twin or triplet, there's something unique and different about each and every one of us. And every person in this book that has been highlighted, they look to the best of themselves, the things that they knew how to do well. They found the niche in which they could make a difference, and they stuck with that thing. They did not care what everybody else around them was saying. And along the way, it may not have looked like what it ended up being, but they stayed committed because they believed in their God. As we've been saying, many of these people, all they had was faith. You fresh out of slavery. No, some of these different things that we have today that make having businesses more easy, they did not have any of those eases in their life, but their commitment to themselves and what they believed of themselves to be able to accomplish is why they were able to finish what they started, and for us to be talking about them today. So just to love ourselves with reckless abandon and to teach our children that the world will be a much better place. Our children would be able to be who God created them to be individually if we teach our children to be leaders and to love themselves versus being imitators or followers. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bishop Carrie. We love you. Go ahead on, Miss Shirley. Pour in.
Definitely, for gratitude, just reading this book and being in this community, discussing it and learning every day. I'm so grateful. So I'm grateful and lucky to be here with everybody and sharing this experience with everybody. Definitely, as Bishop was saying, just teaching gratitude to our kids, how to be grateful for the smallest things. I mean, for me, gratitude, strengthens our connection with others, right? When we openly, express gratitude, we build bridges. We build bridges with others. We reinforce empathy. We build bonds, and we sustain relationships in our communities. And so for me, gratitude is such an amazing and powerful action to do every single day. And, we just need to create more compassion and understanding in this world. And it all starts with gratitude every day. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're on mute,
Absolutely.
Queen.
I appreciate you, Miss Shirley. Thank you so very much. Miss Valerie, your last word. Yes.
Picking up what you said, Shirley, about gratitude being a verb, being action, action over everything equals impact. We are a true community here. The people in the book and our ancestors had a true community. I often think about much, much further in the future, how our children's children will be reading about us, and we're paving the way now. We have our true community now. True community is people live open, honest, confessional lives in a culture of grace. No hiding or pretending. And John Maxwell says about pain, the painful path of pain. People change when they hurt enough that they have to, learn enough that they want to, and receive enough that they are able to. And with this, all of this is the grace of gratitude.
Absolutely wonderful pour in as well, Valerie. That's right. Put some more green hearts up in the chat. You know, not only is this so powerful for us to be in the moment and love and appreciate the moment, but with wisdom, we know we can truly help to take this to not only our next level, but also the community, nations, and the world. And that's indeed what we're doing with the Global Women Wealth Wars at GW3 Society. You see, it's important for you to not only to learn something, but also now to share the information that you've been able to hear. So today, I challenge you. Not only do I challenge you to keep on investing in yourselves, keep on reading, keep on pushing yourself, keep on thriving harder than ever. If these stories here of resiliency wasn't an example for you or wasn't a good enough example for you, you may need to read the book one more time. That's all I have to say. You may need to read the book one more time, because after reading the book one time, just one time, not only did it make me want to get up and move, but it made me want to take action. And that's what is important for you today. We come here every day to pour into you. Now it's time for you to start pouring in to others. So ladies, you already know what time it is. It's time for us to roll those shoulders back, put our heads up high. It's time to go blaze the universe. Why? The world need another game changer. And that game changer is YOU. Thank you guys so much for being here today for another Transformational Tuesday. We look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. Bye for now. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Valerie. And thank you, Shirley. Bye, guys. Have a good evening. We'll return right back into the clubhouse.